Hello and welcome to Creative Marketing TV. My name is Susan Joy Schlief. I had to stop for a second and think about which show I was doing because I have a different name for it on Facebook. Anyway, we're doing an extra episode this week. I did a show last week, and usually I do every other week, but it's because we're celebrating Build a Better Image Week, and it ends today. I'm doing another show. So, hi, my name is Susan Joy Schlief. I am the founder and host of Creative Marketing TV. And I've been doing a lot of live streaming all last week and for part of this coming week as well, celebrating the launch of my book that's going to be on sale on Thursday, September 27th. And I'll give you more info about that later. But that's why I've been doing these daily live streams, which has been fun, but it's a lot of work to prepare the content. So today I'm going to give you a little wrap up of what I've talked about all this week for Build a Better Image Week. And I have some slides to kind of guide us along. So let me bring those up. And Build a Better Image Week, I happened to find on one of the holiday calendars, and it sounded like a perfect fit for what I talk about and for some of the things that are in my book as well. And it runs from September 16th through the 22nd, which is today. So let's look at what we covered last week in the different live streams. So I started with actually last Saturday, which was not really part of the Build a Better Image Week, but it was National Online Learning Day. And so I talked about neuromarketing secrets for online courses. And as you can see, my book is about neuromarketing secrets for content marketers. And of course, content marketing includes lots of different ways of presenting your information. So online courses is a very popular one. I talked about that last Saturday. If you did not see that or haven't seen the recording, I will put a link to it in the description under this video once it's done. It's will also be on my playlist for my Creative Marketing TV channel. But we talked in there about some of the main concepts in my book, which would apply very well to online courses. And I talked about three main trends that have sort of all converged to affect this online learning phenomenon, I guess I'll call it. And one of them is just the development of how human beings interact with visual materials. And we talked about a little bit about the first cave paintings and things like that, and how people used visuals back then. Our world was so much more interactive with visual back then because we really totally depend on what we see with our eyes in order to find food, to watch for danger, things like that. So, but back then it was visuals of the real world. Then gradually over the centuries, we began to have drawings and etchings and things like that. And then leading up to the printing press and photography and movies and things like that. And then eventually, of course, getting to the internet and the amazing opportunities we have now for creating visual information. So that's one trend. And then I talked about how that converges with the development of mandatory public education and how that changed the way that children learn. In the past, it would be listening to stories around the campfire from the elders, or a little bit later would have been learning a trade by watching someone else doing that. And then, of course, when we got to mandatory public education, then it was sitting in a classroom learning by rote. And fortunately, now we know a lot more about how people actually learn, and there are opportunities to create material that will work much better than trying to do that, bombard you with information and make you learn it by rote. And the third trend then, of course, was the neuroscience knowledge that we have now that we did not have before about how people learn. And a lot of that came out of the movement around No Child Left Behind. Once that policy was set into place, then the educational system really did a lot of research about what methods are more effective for helping kids learn. And some of those ideas are summarized in my book. So then on Sunday, we started this Build a Better Image week. And on Sunday, I did a little episode about how to build a better quote graphic. And I had asked in my Facebook group for anybody who had one that they wanted me to do a makeover on. And Georgia Lee London offered this one. And I have, if you go watch the recording from that episode last Sunday, you'll see how I did this, but I explained and demonstrated, and I turned it into this quote instead. The same quote, but with a different image. And I made it square to display better, excuse me, to display better on Facebook and Instagram. And then Monday, we moved on to talking about really how does our brain interact with pictures, which comes down to, I summarized it in 5 reasons to create visual content. I think that's one of the best episodes, so I would really encourage you to go check that one out. On Tuesday, I don't have any slides to show for this one because I was just on camera talking about it, but I talked about, I think it was 4 different factors that you can use to improve the way that your images attract attention on social media. And then on Wednesday, this had been a special request. I had some people in another group I'm in asking me about designing a visual brand. And so I did a little presentation about that on Wednesday on my Facebook Live show again. And that recording is up there. You can go watch that. I also offered to share a template that I use to create my style guide for my brand. And I create mine in PowerPoint. And I explained some of the reasons, but you can use any software that you want to create that as an image or a PDF or however you want to save it so that you have all that information handy. And there's a comment under this recording on my Facebook page. If you want to get that template, you can do that. Just there's information there about how to do that. So, we talked about a number of things on that show about how to develop your visual brand. Even if you aren't going to be able to design the logo yourself and things like that, there are still some things you can do to sort of research what you want your brand to be about. And then you can pass those notes on to the designer if you want to have somebody do that. But I also talked on that show about the fact that visual branding is much more than just a logo, and that branding in itself is much more than just the visual components. Branding is really about what makes your business unique in your field. And there's some discussion on there about how to start looking at that. All right, so that was Wednesday. We talked about visual branding. And then on Thursday, again, there were no slides for this one. I was just on camera talking about, does motion enhance images? And in some ways it does, because our brain is really hardwired to watch for things that change. And so when there's motion happening, there's change. And so we just almost automatically look. You almost can't stop yourself from looking when something's moving. Now, that's a little different in our world when there's so much going on all around us. We don't necessarily always see every movement, but there is an advantage because of that reaction to adding motion. However, and I talked about this more last Thursday, that you can overdo it with the motion, definitely. It can become distracting, so people can't pay attention to what you're saying or to the message of the video. And it can get very annoying if you're, for instance, in PowerPoint, if you're using all different kinds of animations and they're going all over the place, that can just be kind of tacky and annoying to your viewers. So use it in a way that enhances the message, not overdoing it and distracting from the message. All right, and then yesterday we had a special episode for National Doodle Day, and I had fun putting that together. I was teaching how you can do that in a very simple, easy, and inexpensive way without having to buy some fancy software. But I had a problem with the recording, so I'm going to have to redo that one. And I'm going to probably do that this after I finish today's show, maybe a half hour or so after that. So that recording will be posted later. It's there now. You can hear it, but you can't see what I was doing because the screen wasn't shared correctly. But anyway, I think that will be a fun one. Give you some ideas you might not have thought about how to add drawing to your presentations or videos. All right, and that brings us to today. But I wanted to let you know about, this was available last week, but not everybody has it, of course. I put this schedule together of the trainings I was going to do leading up to the offer of my book. And they are, I just was working on it this morning, going back for the Facebook Live ones and hyperlinking the schedule here so that you can go back and watch the recordings of those. And obviously I'll have to add it for the National Doodle Day yet. Here's today's episode. You can watch the recording at the same link. And tomorrow's episode, oops, looks like I got that out of alignment there somehow. I'll have to tweak that before I upload the new version. And this one too. Yeah, it looks like the whole thing got dragged over. I'll fix that. That must have gotten moved when I was editing. Oh, here too. That's weird. I didn't even notice it. All right, well, I can't do it while I'm in slideshow mode. So tomorrow I'm doing a little training again on Creative Marketing TV, a special episode where I'm going to do a quick demo about creating an explainer video in PowerPoint and just telling a simple visual story. And I'm going to create one to explain the autumn equinox, which happens tonight, by the way. I know you probably saw the Google Doodle this morning that said today's the first day of fall. That's not technically quite correct. I wouldn't say, yes, it does begin today, but it begins tonight, which, to me, then that makes tomorrow really the first day of fall. But the autumn equinox is tonight, the point where there's equal day and equal night is what the name means, right? But I'll go into that more tomorrow. But it happens, I think, at almost 10 o'clock Eastern time, 9 o'clock my time in Chicago. It happens at the same time for the whole planet. So that's going to be a different time depending on where you live. But that's, to me, like I said, that makes tomorrow the first official day of fall. Anyway, so that'll be kind of fun. It'll be just a way to do a simple explainer story. And then Monday and Tuesday, I'm just going to talk a little bit and show you a couple videos that have to do with Monday on the holiday calendar is Punctuation Day. I don't remember if it's national or international, probably national. And there's a really cute video that uses punctuation to tell a story. And so I'll share that and talk about how we can use punctuation as graphics, basically. And then on Tuesday, it's Math Storytelling Day. And I found a fun video about that as well. We'll talk a little bit about, again, how you can use creative visual content to teach kids about math. And Wednesday is Johnny Appleseed Day. So I'm going to do another little bit on my Facebook Live. Again, this is talking about visual storytelling. And in this case, I'm going to go into a little bit, not so much how to create the video in PowerPoint, because I'm doing that tomorrow, but I'm going to talk about how to use a visual metaphor like that to talk about a marketing concept. So that's one of the things I love about these special holidays is that you can use them for creative ways to market. It gives you a fun topic to talk about on social media with your fans or followers, or to create a blog post about it or something like that, or to send them a special email. It's just another way to interact with your audience from a slightly different angle than always talking about your products and services. We can talk about it telling the story of Johnny Appleseed and tie that into a business. So that's what we'll talk about on Wednesday, using the metaphor of a visual story to relate to your business. And then, boy, this is really messed up down here. I don't know how that all got so messed up. Let's see. Okay, then we get to Thursday, which is the 27th, and that's when my book sale is happening. So September 27th, the book is going to be 99 cents for one day only. We want everybody to buy it on that day so we can boost it up in the rankings before I start promoting the book. And that's why I'm offering all this free training as an incentive. I'm also offering an incentive for everybody who buys that day on the 27th. You're going to get an extra bonus of access to a free course that will help you start implementing some of the ideas in the book. And so the way to get that will be to send me your receipt, and I'll share more information about that on Thursday. Or if you want to get this calendar with the links to all the trainings, and then I can also email you when the book launch happens, and with the instructions for how to make sure that you get that course. And then after the book launch on Friday, I think it was, there is, and I can't read it because it's like doubled up on top of each other for some reason. I don't know how that got so messed up. Oh, I know what it was. There's a holiday there called Ask a Stupid Question Day. So I'm going to do another Facebook Live and see what questions people want to ask me. Hopefully they won't be stupid, but if they are, then I'll try to provide an intelligent answer. All right. And then International, excuse me, International Coffee Day is actually on Saturday, so that's all shifted over wrong. Okay. And then I think there was actually something on Sunday that I was going to include a little live stream about as well, but I don't remember now what it was because I didn't have it on here. Anyway, you'll just have to watch for that. After watching some of these Facebook Lives, maybe you'll want to go ahead and like my Facebook page and turn on the notifications so when I do go live over there, Facebook will notify you. Doesn't mean you have to join me live if the time doesn't work, but at least you'll know to go look for the recording later. All right, so that has been a wrap-up of what we covered for Build a Better Image Week, and then a little preview of what we're going to talk about next week. Even though Build a Better Image Week is over, my build up to my book launch is still going on until Thursday. And the book, let's see if I can get back to the slide here where I had the book image. I didn't think to add it at the end here. There we go. So the book is called Get Your Message into Their Brains, Neuromarketing Secrets for Content Marketers. I think the feedback I'm getting so far is extremely positive. I sent out some review copies a couple weeks ago, and I'm getting great feedback. They're going to post reviews on Amazon for me as well, so you can take a look there. Within a couple days, the reviews should be up. And there will be a paperback version published in October, but right now the Kindle version is available. And if you wait until Thursday, you can get that Kindle version for 99 cents. So I hope you will do that. I hope you will also sign up for the event calendar. And that way I will send you a reminder on Thursday to make sure you get the book and to send me your receipt to get access to the free course. All right, and that was a little shorter than usual, I know, but I think we'll wrap up there. And let me get off the slides here and come back on the webcam. All right. If you have any questions about any of these topics that I shared today, please post them in the comments here. And I will, as soon as we're done here, I will post the link where you can sign up to get this calendar, the event calendar. And like I said, it has the links to all the recorded trainings. And I hope you enjoy them. And I look forward to answering your questions. You don't even have to wait until the 28th for Ask a Stupid Question Day. You can just post them in the comments. All right, my name is Susan Joy Schlief. This is Creative Marketing TV, and we've been doing a wrap-up of Build a Better Image Week. Have a great weekend, and I look forward to seeing your questions and comments.